Hey besties, it's Nat back again with another Animal Crossing speed build on my New England themed town core island of Nautilus. And today we are inside. We are inside my house. We're in the furthest back room of my house right now. And currently it is serving as kind of like an office study area with lots of plants. And she's a cute room, but I believe that she can be better. So we are going to be turning her into a relaxing sunroom. In keeping with my island theme, it's going to be super nautical, and it's going to have a big wall of windows facing the ocean. And we're going to achieve that using the glow-in-the-dark sticker object, along with some beautiful custom designs. So that is pretty much the plan for today, besties. You know the drill. Grab yourself a snack, grab yourself something to drink, and let's get right into it. Hey again, besties, it's voiceover Nat. Yes, I am back after last week's little experiment with live recording and editing, which was fun, but we're back to the regular speedy build. And as you can see, I am speedily building 24 glow-in-the-dark stickers, which was more complicated and time-consuming than I initially anticipated. A very kind person on Nookazon traded the recipe for me, so I was able to get that pretty easily. But I just, I kept running out of space in my pockets. I kept running out of glow moss to make the stickers with. And then when it came to customizing the stickers, I repeatedly ran out of custom design kits to decorate the stickers with. They are so deceptively easy to use when you're decorating someone else's house, and you don't realize how annoying they are until you have to cover an entire wall with them, truly. But yeah, I'm gonna use this as like my normal intro catch up with you time, I suppose, because once again, normally when I'm doing an outside build, I would use my demolition time to do that. But right now, of course, we're doing an inside build, and demolition takes literally 2 seconds, so we don't get that in this video. So how have you all been? How's your week going so far? I've been having a pretty fun week. I had a fun weekend. I had my very first Splatfest. That was exciting. We also had just the most chaotic Sims live stream I think we've had yet, that's saying something. I'm finally getting into customizing the stickers, and I'll try to have the creator code for this creator in the description. This creator, I think they took down the designs that I'm using on my island, but they have very similar designs up, and they have lots of beautiful windows and doors. But essentially right now I'm trying to organize which codes need to go on which stickers. So I needed 4 stickers to do the door, and then I needed 4 baseboard stickers, and I accidentally customized 5 of them as the baseboard, and I have to go back and recustomize them. And then the rest of them are just windows. There's 24 tiles per side of a wall, so that's how many we need to do this design idea that I have. And then I had to time travel to get some items, and I read this incredibly flirty message from Bo. And once again, if you watched the Sims stream this weekend, you know why that's significant. And then also I caught Maddie and Butch singing, and it was very cute. But we're gonna jump back to the build now. Here I am in the actual room that we're decorating, and we are gonna demolish it very quickly and begin a decoration. Once again, like I said earlier, it's gonna be nautical themed, as is my entire island. Very New England, especially with the white wooden walls that I cannot stop using. Someone needs to take those away from me. Ooh, here we are doing the wallpaper trick. So the first thing I do is I do a feature wall of that Sahara wallpaper. This one is an ocean one because we're next to the ocean. That's the vibe that we're going for. And then I take the glow-in-the-dark stickers that I customized, and I'm just placing them down on the walls. And it looks great. I love this trick. I've done this in many of my villagers' homes, both in Happy Home Paradise and on my own island. This one is probably the most similar to Marshall's house, so it's also really similar to Kiki's house as well. But Kiki's house is like a restaurant, so it doesn't have the door leading outside. But I wanted it to be sort of like this was like the side door to my house, and you could just step out onto the beach and into the ocean. So that was the vibe, and I think that this captured it perfectly. That was me realizing that I had messed up the customization, and I went back and I fixed it. But yeah, this is my big wall of windows. Hopefully it looks like a sunroom. I think it does. I think it looks fantastic. The one thing that I don't like about that method of creating a fake window, though, is the fact that you can't change the time of day of the wallpaper. Like, I'd have to go and find like a nighttime wallpaper and replace it every time that it got dark, which, kind of sucks, but I still think it looks cute, and I'm quite pleased with how this entire build turned out. I planned it in the Room Sketch app. Shout out Room Sketch app. Love you, bestie. Thanks for making this so easy. Once again, not as easy as building someone else's house because I have to track down all of the furniture and recipes by myself individually, which is so time consuming. But you know what, besties? It was worth it because this build is a bit of a sleigh, one of my better interior builds, I think. I experimented with furniture that I don't normally get to use, but in a colorway that I do normally use. So we have this Moroccan sofa, which I tried to use in Pecan's house. I'll put a link to Pecan's house in the card. Pecan's house is probably one of my favorite interiors on my entire island. But yeah, I wanted to use different furniture, but sort of familiar colorways. So it's a lot of blue. It's a lot of neutrals and a lot of blue and the green from the plants. And that is the vibe. It is a sunroom in a cottage on an island off the coast of New England. That is what we're going for, and I think that I achieved that. You know what, besties? Speaking of plugs, because I did just so expertly plug the Pecan house build a minute ago, I'm gonna take just a second to talk about The Sims LP again, because I did just recently do an update video for that, which I'll link in the card. And I also had that stream this weekend where we recorded a new episode of the Let's Play, and it was, as I mentioned before, extremely chaotic. Bo flirting with me in the mail in Animal Crossing is very alarming to me after the events of this weekend. Oh my god. Oh my god. But for those of you who don't know, I am currently doing a Let's Play on the channel where I have put all of my villagers from Nautilus, as well as some other villagers, including Raymond, who recently entered the Let's Play. I took them all and I turned them into Sims in The Sims 4, and I'm doing a legacy challenge where we're going to do 10 generations worth of Sims, and they're all going to be based off of different Animal Crossing villagers. And I have a lot of fun putting that whole video series together. It's really fun to edit. They're so fun to record. The live streams are absolutely nuts. We've gotten married. We've had a baby. There's been a little bit of infidelity going on between some of the villagers. Oh my god, he's gonna slap him! All of that to say that, one, if you're interested in checking that series out, I highly, highly recommend it. I'll put a link both to the most recent episode and to the entire playlist of episodes in the card up above that you can check out. I'm very proud of those videos, and I really enjoy making them, and I hope you enjoy them as well. And two, as we are approaching the sort of end of my very first island, Nautilus, where we're approaching the finale, we're approaching the release of the Dream Address, hopefully by the end of this year, and in the planning process of my next island, which, yes, I am getting another Switch, and I am going to start another island after I finish up Nautilus, and I really enjoy reading your guesses as to what the theme will be, so please keep guessing. It brings me immense joy and entertainment. But as I've been sort of getting into that headspace mentally, I guess, I've been thinking a lot about which videos and projects and stuff bring me the most joy, and how I feel about sharing them, and all of that sort of like esoteric, I don't know, like I'm too deep in my head about things type of nonsense that I'm always on. But basically, I was having a conversation with my sibling, and they mentioned to me how they thought that I should tell people to subscribe at the beginning of my videos, just as like a reminder, like, hey, that's something that you can do. And I thought about that, and it reminded me of this interview that I saw with Tyler, the creator, who is an actual real artist who makes incredible art and not silly little Animal Crossing videos. Not to discount my videos or like the work that I put into them or the joy that I get out of making them, but you know, at the end of the day, they're just, you know, they're just for fun. They're just for funsies. But it reminded me of this interview that he did where he told people to not be afraid to promote their stuff when they made something that they wanted people to see, that they were proud of, that they wanted to get out there. Don't be afraid to like tell people that it exists. And I definitely worry sometimes about like of like coming off too strong, or you know, just like the general being in my head too much problem that I talked about earlier. And I came to the realization that if I enjoyed making something, then I think that part of that enjoyment should include the enjoyment of sharing it with other people. Does that make sense? Like I shouldn't be nervous about sharing it with people. I should be happy because I was happy when I made it and it brought me a lot of joy. Like how I'm happy to share this build with you because like making it and looking at it brought me a lot of joy. So, you know, here you go. And so the whole reason that I'm having this spiel in the middle of this speed build is in case any of you needed to hear that today, that if you're making something, if you're doing something creative in your life right now, which I hope that you are, whether it's for fun or if it's very serious, that you should take joy in sharing it with people because it brought you joy to create it. And if you're proud of it, then you should be proud to share it with people. And that's my my auntie speech. I'll stop being your mom now, and we'll get back to talking about the build. But yeah, also check out the Sims series. And this is completely unrelated, but I am also going to be live streaming after this video at some point because I want to live stream. I love live streaming very, very much. But yeah, we are still working on a sunroom right now, if you could believe it. This is pretty much the way that the sunroom looked in the Room Sketch app when I was initially planning it. I had to go back and forth to Harv's Island a couple of times to recolor some things. So if that's what most of the cuts in this video are at this point in the video, that or going outside to my crafting bench to recolor things. But right now we're throwing down the TV. The whole like TV area with the couches is probably the most similar to the Room Sketch app version of the build. That area was like chef's kiss, perfect. I loved the couches, I love the colors, I love the objects, I love having the telescope looking out, I love the seagull hanging from the ceiling. Behind the couch was a little different. Initially I had that painting that's like the two guys hunting with the dogs, but I have that painting in my kitchen, and I also have this rug in my kitchen, and I realized maybe I should have something different so that you don't walk into this room and you're like, this is exactly the same as the previous room. So I experimented with this like plant wall idea, and eventually it sort of evolves into a plant wall with a fish painting because it's a fishing house. A fishing house, what does that mean? But yeah, we use this fish painting. I have a ton of these from the fishing tourney. For some reason, this is the only thing CJ wants to give me, which is very irritating because he has lots of cute things to give away, and this fish painting, it's fine, but I don't want it every single time, CJ. Like, give me something different, bestie. But yeah, we ended up putting that up there. I think I changed it to the swordfish customization. But yeah, the hardest part of figuring out this build, by far, was the top left corner. Specifically because when I initially planned this build in the Room Sketch app, it was like slightly more colorful than it is now. Like because of the painting that I mentioned earlier, there was more reds and like warm jewel tones going on, and it made that corner work a lot better. But in the final version of the build, that is not the case. It is majority blue with brown and black and white and like more neutral than warm toned. And that was my main issue with figuring out that corner. That trick with the dog on the little like woven mat thing, absolutely adore it, but it ended up not making it the final build, unfortunately. But I do have it in my kitchen. I'll link my kitchen. Look at that. Best. Oh my God, they should hire me. Some ad agency, they need me, okay? Let me plug stuff. I'm so good at it. But yeah, I'll link my kitchen speed build in the top left as well, so you can check that out too. That build is very New England as well. If you like the style of this, you're gonna like the kitchen. But yeah, we did that trick with the dog on the little mat as he's like in a dog bed. And I also really wanted to use this rocking chair, but the rocking chair ends up not making it. So sorry to that rocking chair, but you just didn't make the cut, bestie. Same with the ship's wheel object, which once again, extremely nautical, but it just ended up not making it into the final build. But we did have to have a sock on the ground. Of course, absolutely. There's no way I'm making a build with a sock on the ground. Who do you think I am? But one of the things that sort of evolved, I guess, as I was building this in the actual game and not in the Room Sketch app was the bottom right corner. Oh no, I'm sorry, the bottom left corner. I don't know the directions. I'm so bad at left and right. But the bottom left corner, the music corner where we have that big, huge stereo, I decided to sort of make that a bigger theme of the room, sort of like a room that you'd come to listen to music. So we added that guitar. We also added those records on the wall. Those records on the wall were there from the beginning, but the big item was the headphones because I had that in my storage and I was like, oh, I could use these as like, oh, you're listening to music in this room. So I sort of reconceptualized so many fancy words today. Oh my gosh. We sort of reconceptualized that corner. And I think we ended up adding an amp to that space at the end of the video, but I experimented with a lot of chairs, okay? We went through a lot of chairs that you wouldn't actually be able to sit in to begin with. So I think that losing the chair in the end was for the best. Also the bird. I'm sorry to the bird, but you just did not fit. The colors of the bird did not match the other colors of the room, which was very upsetting. But it was cute. It was cute while it lasted. And yeah, I'm still trying to make the rocking chair work. I tried a couple of other chairs. I tried the peacock chair. I tried the retro massage chair. None of those worked. And in the end, we put the amp, we put the headphones, and I think we put another plant. This room ended up having a lot more plants than I initially intended, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, who doesn't love more plants? But when I was looking at the room and I like realized the beginning room, the room that was here before, I was like, this room is cute. Like the plants are making it a vibe. So I thought, we'll add more plants. And here comes the amp. I also had that in my storage and had not used it. And it's also an object that I just wouldn't think to use. But now it happens to be very, very useful because I decided that maybe like a third of the room that I was working on was a music listening space. So, that works. If it works, it works. And I think we ended up going with the coffee plant. I was also sort of struggling with what to put up here because I thought that the room looked like unbalanced unless there was something in that corner. I ended up not putting anything in that corner. And if I had the cobweb object, I absolutely would put it in that corner, but I couldn't because I didn't have an extra cobweb, which I thought I had, but apparently I was wrong, which is very upsetting once again. Obviously have to do the ocean sounds. We're not getting away with not doing the ocean sounds. And I also made the lighting a little bit dimmer. I also wanted to add the phone next to the door. I just thought that was fun. You know what this reminds me of? Speaking of The Sims, I really miss building a Sims house back in the day in like The Sims 2 and having a little corner where you have your phone. Like I know that in real life, people don't have phones. I certainly don't have a landline in my house. And I don't know, do you have a landline in your house? Let me know. But people don't have that anymore. So I just thought it would be cute if my Animal Crossing house was a bit of a throwback and we had phones everywhere, as well as Birkenstocks by the door, which is very realistic to my real life, unlike having a landline rotary phone. Shout out to rotary phones. They're so slow, but they're fun. I like the sound that they make when you spin the dial. I love how like 5 minutes ago I was like giving a speech about how you should be proud of your art, and then now I'm like, a rotary phone make funny noise. This is pretty consistent with the content on this channel. So like I said before, like my siblings said that I should do, if you're enjoying this, bestie, hit that subscribe button because I do this twice a week, whether you like it or not. For better or worse. I also tried to fit in some villager photos. I need to find a place in my house to put my villager photos because I am getting down to the wire with my villager photos. I have almost all of them. I still, Genji and Marshall are holding out on me, and I think it's out of spite, frankly. So hopefully I get those soon, but I need to find a place to put them. I'll probably end up going in my bedroom. I can't wait to decorate my bedroom. My house is like one of the last things that I need to like really fix up. So that's going to be a lot of the speed builds going forward, but there's still some places on my island that I need to fix, some outdoor builds that I need to adjust. So we'll be doing a lot of that as well. There's going to be a lot of like this build fixed or this build adjusted. But here we are at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, if you liked this, leave a like and comment and let me know. If you really liked it, you could subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every time that I post. I post Animal Crossing content here twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I also stream over here on YouTube. I'm going to be streaming live after this video goes up, so be on the lookout for that. You can also follow me on Instagram and join my Discord, linked in the description. It's pretty fun down there. But yeah, like I said, be proud of yourself. I'll be your big sister and I'll tell you to be proud of yourself and be proud of the stuff that you make. Drink some water. Take a nap, you deserve it. And if I don't see you on the stream today, then I'll see you all again on Saturday. Bye!